Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/slash Tales from Tech Support. In today's episode, have you tried turning it on? Looks like one of my users will get the monitor equals computer talk tomorrow. It uses electricity, so IT sure can fix it. The jumping T. Sometimes the problem is that you overthink it. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. Have you tried turning it on? So this one was a few years ago. I provided basic technical support for a local bus company. Their tech was quite old and had its issues, so we convinced the owner to spend a few $100 and replace the 5 old computers with some new Dell thin clients. I helped them set everything up on a weekend. It was all quite smooth. Installations were without any issues, no licensing problems, nothing. Awesome. Tests were done, so I shut every machine down and enjoy my Sunday evening. Monday morning, I get a few calls, was still sleeping, so I missed them. Got up, saw the calls and called the user back. I remember standing in the bathroom. It went like this. Good morning, everything running fine? Well no. My computer won't turn on. That's odd, just yesterday everything was working fine. Can you check if anything is not plugged in? Already did, looks fine, no unplugged cables. Okay. Does the computer make any noise or beeping when you hit the button, or is it just completely silent? It's completely silent. But the LED is blinking. I realized this was a stupid question because of passively cooled PCs with SSDs, but the user was helpful there. Okay, do other users have this problem, or just you? Just me. Screen is black, nothing. I tried to think about what I was doing differently to this machine. I had no idea. But I realized that by shutting everything down I might have confused the user a little. Okay, user, have you turned on the monitor? No, it turns on by itself. How do I do that? There it is, laughing face. The old monitor always went to standby, but yesterday I just turned it off, whoops. Problem, put your finger on the bottom right corner of the screen, and move it along the bottom side of the screen to the left. You should feel a bump. Just push on that bump. Okay? Oh yeah, there it is, it's working, thank you. Said goodbye and hang up. I proceeded with brushing my teeth, wondering if I really just had to explain to somebody how to turn on their monitor. Looks like one of my users will get the monitor equals computer talk tomorrow. Anticlimactic update. I talked to the user this morning. She says she never restarted and just signed out as usual. Furthermore, both receptionists were having trouble with the scheduling software, which likely indicates either a slow connection or that the vendor was having issues yesterday. So, I still have yet to actually see a user who thinks that the monitor is the computer. Original story. I work IT at a small medical practice. One of our receptionists was complaining that the scheduling software was being slow and doing strange things. I wasn't in my office at the time, but the receptionist found one of the administrative assistants, who suggested that she restart her PC. The assistant alerted me to the complaint, and I concurred that a reboot would probably solve it. On my way out today, I stopped by the front desk, logged in as administrator, went to Task Manager, and found that the uptime was 4 days, 23 hours and counting. Obviously, it wasn't actually rebooted. So, tomorrow, I'm going to ask her to show me how she restarts the computer. Perhaps she just didn't restart it because somebody showed up at the desk right after she got back, or perhaps I have encountered my first user who thinks that the monitor is the computer. If anybody is even remotely interested, I'll update the post. It uses electricity, so IT sure can fix it. Our company worked for the local museum from time to time, our digital department helped creating one of their permanent exhibition. That department's manager found me one day. The museum called, their plotter gone wrong, so you have to go there and fix it. The hell is a plotter? It's a printer like stuff, dunno. In the meantime I googled it, printer like yeah. It wasn't part of the expo we made. No it wasn't, they just called us. Okay, but anyhow I have zero experience with these, so no I can't fix it. But can't you just take a look, maybe? I never used one, don't exactly know what is it for, never even saw one, so no, it's absolutely pointless to take a look, tell them to call a technician. But I already told them you'll fix it. Then better call and tell them not to wait for me any longer. The jumping T. Several years back, a user complained to me that they had a jumping T on their new overpriced $5,000 notebook. As they described it, the issue was when they were typing, whenever they would type a T it would appear at a random point in the document each time. After not being able to get to the bottom of the issue over the phone, I went over to their office to observe them replicating the issue. They were typing and all appeared normal, and then when they went to type T they violent twisted and slammed their left hand down, also clicking in the trackpad. There was nothing wrong with the T, they were simply clicking the trackpad, and the T was then being inserted wherever the cursor was. User did not accept that explanation, and was very insistent that I replace the internal keyboard. I politely refused but offered them an external keyboard that was identical to the internal one. They declined. The user also used an external mouse, so I offered to simply disable the trackpad and showed them how to toggle it on and off. They also declined that. Every time that user saw me for the next few months they would ask me if I was going to fix their T, and I would explain to them that we already identified the cause, and would again offer them an external keyboard, which they would refuse. Sometimes the problem is that you overthink it. So I just finished working at an IT help desk for my university, which means I have a few interesting stories. However, this was a pretty recent thing and definitely made me feel as much of an idiot as the poor woman I was helping. My uni gave out laptops for students at the beginning of the year due to remote learning. They are pretty decent and we had no real issues from students with them. This poor woman though called me at my desk to ask about her internal camera, which she said hadn't worked all year. But it was only not recognizing the face, but backgrounds on Teams showed up. I immediately figured it was a hardware thing and asked her to drop by the desk in person with the laptop. You probably know where this is going, please don't think me too dim. I had a look at the settings etc. to ensure it wasn't a software problem, and then gave the machine itself a look over for any damage. At this point I was pretty confused as to what was going on. I messaged my supervisor to get the case notes as she said she had contacted us previously. While waiting for the response and racking my very tired brain, I brushed some fluff off the top of the screen and accidentally hit the lens cap over the webcam. I felt very dim, and the poor lady felt even more embarrassed as she had not copped this over the past year. It really is the smallest stuff that ends up tripping me up.